Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Big Mike back here again. And this is a video I've been wanting to make for a long time. And it's how I would fit the Fantastic Four in the current Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, little history lesson if you don't know. Before the MCU, Marvel as a whole, not just the studio, was about to go bankrupt. I think they even filed for bankruptcy. But instead of going bankrupt, they sold a couple of characters and rights to characters, at least for the movies. They still have them in comic books, but the movies, they sold them off. A couple of them include Spider-Man to Sony, and the Fantastic Four and the X-Men to Fox. Now, since this video, Marvel has been picking up a whole lot of steam. They brought back a couple of characters, including Daredevil, The Punisher, Blade, a couple others, and of course they made the Sony Spider-Man deal, which hopefully is a bit more long-term than it is, but we're not talking about that right now. So now the two pretty big characters that have yet to be in the MCU are the X-Men, which I don't think is really likely. I mean, Fox hasn't been doing a great job with them, but they've been okay. The real big one, of course, is the Fantastic Four. Now, this is what I would like to see happen and how I would incorporate the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, first off, I think this starts with an end credit scene. You know, end credit scene in, like, Infinity War or Avengers 4, whatever. And we see, you know, just a low news report on a sighting of an old school space shuttle. And then we see all the Avengers and whatever heroes are there go over to the site, the crash site. And then when they get over there, they see a familiar logo. Could it be the Four? Who knows? And then the last shot is a big orange fist just coming through the shuttle. And that's it. Well, that's not it, but that's the introduction. That's the teaser to get everybody excited. Now, the first solo outing of the Four, it starts longish time ago. Let's say the 60s, whenever the Fantastic Four made their first appearance. And they go through their normal origins. They take off in a ship, but instead of just giving them their powers, it teleports them to another dimension. Now, if you don't know, in the comics, Fantastic Four are big old dimension hoppers. And currently, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, and their kids, we're not going to do their kids yet, obviously, are trying to fix the multiverse. While the Thing and Johnny Storm are still hanging out on Earth. Although the Thing did join the Guardians of the Galaxy for a little bit, which is pretty darn cool. And then Johnny fell in love with Medusa, if you don't know who that is. She's an Inhuman. I'll probably do a video on them closer to their show release. And yes, Inhumans are getting a show, so figure that out. Anyway. Anyway, we have them, you know, gone for a bit. We kind of see them get their powers. Their powers pretty much come from the cosmic rays due to, well, let's say they're trying to develop a sort of light speed. I think that would be fine, other than just, rebuilding a shuttle. They steal it, they go up into space, and take off. And then their body absorbs the cosmic rays, and they have their powers now. Now it's kind of tough to see, for this main villain of the story, I'm not going to be doing Doctor Doom. As much as I would like to see Doctor Doom done right, he is a big enough character for him to maybe not have his own movie, but for him to develop naturally as a character, he needs a little bit more time. We need to see a little bit more. Instead of, what we got in the past, which was him as a jealous scientist of Reed in the last shitty movie. And motivations of Doctor Doom in recent memory is just shit. I'm sorry for those PG. I'm sorry I'm not PG. Anyway, the main villain of this story, I think it's going to be, maybe we'll see him as an original type subject. No. We're going to make it do someone else. It's going to be the Mad Thinker and the Awesome Android. If you don't know who those are, Mad Thinker is just super smart, guy. With, he's got genius level IQ and he's evil. And then the Awesome Android is his, big muscly robot that he built, which is pretty cool. Anyway, we're not going to see the Fantastic Four fight the Mad Thinker yet, but first, I'd say, a little bit of the movie, we're going to see them out in another dimension. Maybe they see some things. Maybe they try to set up something. Maybe they're on the other side of the universe and they see a possible invasion trying to start, if you know what I mean. And yes, I'm talking about the Skrulls. I would like to see Secret War happen first. Is that Secret War? Yeah, that's Secret War. Where we'll get a proper introduction to the Skrulls. Right now, we're going to see the Skrull Empire building up. And they're like, we got to get back to Earth. We got to warn people so that we're ready. So they get back in their spaceship. They fly back home. Back to Earth. They still have their powers. And they land. Boom. It's modern day. And then we see that end credit scene happen. Have a little interaction with some of the heroes, especially Spider-Man and the Human Torch. That's gotta happen. I'm sorry. That's gotta happen. Now, we cut away to a prison scene. And then we see the Mad Thinker see, the crash site. And they're like, oh, Reed Richards has returned. As have the four. And he's all like, they're getting all the attention. I want to foil them. So then he breaks out with a little help from maybe a minion or two. Maybe someone he's overpowered intellectually. He gets out, he goes to his lab, wherever it is. Under New York City, whatever. And he turns on the Awesome Android. Now, at this time, the android will probably be, humanish size. And it'll probably will grow throughout the movie. Kind of set up a little Megazord-y fight later on, maybe. So we see that turn on. Cut back to the Baxter building, which is, you know, a little R&D for maybe certain superheroes, and it is turned, or at least partly turned, into a lab for Reed Richards and the Four, because Reed is from the 60s, and those adults can be a little uptight. So, we're going to see that. We're going to see everyone else kind of not automatically adapt to current ages, but we'll see Sue develop a little more character, a little more confidence in herself. Maybe instead of wearing a big dress out, a big covering dress or suit or whatever, then maybe she'll come out with a little sundress or something. I don't know. And then Reed, who's the hothead, he's the overactive internet boy. So we'll see him maybe shoot some videos like this or something. I don't know. Anyway, and then Ben, I'd say, is still kind of recluse and in hiding. Because, like, he's a rock monster. There's not really much way to get that to the public. Although, actually, I think it would be a fine idea to maybe have him out and about. Because that's one of the things I didn't really like about the original Fantastic Four, is that they were all, you know, trying to hide and trying to heal up or whatever. Trying to hide who they were, which doesn't really feel like the Fantastic Four to me. They're Marvel's first family, and they were very open about not only who they were, but also their powers. So, let's show that in this movie. So we'll see Ben Grimm maybe grow confidence. Maybe I'm not so weird after all. Yeah, that's it. We'll have him start as a recluse, but then maybe he sees footage of an Avengers battle or whatever you want, and he thinks, maybe I'm not so weird. And then he goes out and he accepts who he is. And that sounds like fun. But then you have Reed, and he's all stingy, and he's like, oh, this isn't right, this isn't normal. Well, the rest of the team is trying to have him relax. Try to have him adapt to a situation instead of trying to fix it. Because maybe they don't need to be fixed. And then maybe during one test, we see the awesome android jump in on Reed, and we kind of see him maybe not capture Reed, but capture somebody. You know what? I don't want to capture Sue. But how about Ben? Yeah, well, let's show the android will have a message from the Mad Thinker to Reed saying, we have your best friend. We can either hurt him or we can help him. Your choice. So then Reed, seeing this, thinks, oh, I better go take this on alone. But in secret, the rest of the other two will be, Sue and Johnny will be following him. So we get to the Mad Thinker's lab. Awesome android has taken Reed there, with Johnny and Sue right behind them. We kind of see Ben locked up